Tom Brady's emotional return to Foxborough last night. This was surprisingly or not surprisingly a tight game and a very rainy night. Just over 3 minutes to play. Tom to Antonio Brown to get the Bucs in field goal range. That sets up Ryan Suckup from 48 out, and that splits the uprights. They go up 2. Patriots did have time to get in field goal range, though, but Nick Folks, 56-yarder for the win. Close, but close doesn't count when it comes to winning games. Bucs escape with a 19-17 win, and the scene that we all wondered about, Brady and Belichick. Would they hug it out after? Oh, they did. It was quick, but they hugged it out. If you blinked, you might have missed that one. A lot of emotion there. Here was Tom at the podium after the game. Oh, that's long.
I feel good that we won. I feel good that we won. I think that... Again, I didn't try to, there was just some emotional moments thinking about coming up here and playing. And again, I know why it's tough to come in here and win a game, all these years. This team does a great job to make you earn it. They're not going to win every game. But, it's a tough football environment. The crowd's into it. I'm really happy we got a win.
Wasn't the prettiest performance from Tom in his comeback, but it was just good enough to eke out a win, and it goes in the win column. Our former Patriot, former NFL head coach, Eric Mangini, joining us now to break it down. But Wild, since you are there at Gillette, I want to start with you. How much of Brady's performance do you think was due to emotions, and how much should be credited to that Patriots defense?
Well, look. Did I think he was a little bit emotional? Yes. Afterwards, he said it was a long week, and we know historically Peyton Manning had a bad game, Emmitt Smith had a bad game, even though Emmitt was washed. I get it. But, there is an emotional toll that I think affects him. Also, just the crowd, Coach, was so bizarre. It was this weird mix of cheering and booing, and then he breaks the record, and we cheer again, and then he gets sacked, he gets booed, and we're cheering the defense. The whole thing was just confusing. So not only was it an emotional day for Brady, I think it was just confusing as well. But overall, you're a defensive guy. I think you got to say the defense looked great. And I'm optimistic. I've never been happier after a loss in my life. The idea that Gilmore still could come back, how good this defense could be. So overall, I'm feeling great, Coach.
You should feel great. And the defense did a lot of really good things last night. You remember with the breakdown that I did last week, I talked about Matt Judon and the impact he needed to have on the game, and he had a significant impact on the game. And as you watch the game, we talked about pushing the pocket, and there were multiple times where Tom had to leave the pocket. To see Tom scramble for a first down is as rare as it gets. And there was a nice mix of internal pressure early, and then later in the game, there was quite a bit of three-man rush where they were dropping 8, and you couldn't see the combination of coverages in the background, but I'm sure there were several different things mixed in. So Tom Brady has a 70 quarterback rating, and the fact that this game came down to a field goal at the end with New England having a chance to win is unbelievable. It's unbelievable when you look at statistically how it played out. New England had minus yards rushing. That's never happened in the history of the organization, and I think the last time it's happened in the NFL was 2007. And you can go on and on with some of the statistical things that were just skewed. So defensively, they did a very good job, and offensively, it is really hard to go back to a place that you've had such an emotional experience, such a meaningful experience, such a big part of your life, and not be a little bit jacked up emotionally.
I'm just dumbfounded by what I have heard here. This isn't baseball where it's like, hey, we had a bad opening week, but we've got 158 more games to go. It's a 17-game season. Here's how the Patriots stand. They have one victory. Came against the Jets. They have lost to a Dolphins team, which looks terrible. They have lost to a Saints team, which just got beat by the New York Giants. They have, yesterday, correct, the pass defense, the one thing the Patriots do well. The back seven played well. Unfortunately, every other part of the team stinks, so you lost even though Brady had his worst game since he was a Patriot. There are not. You can't repeatedly have moral victories when you spend more money in free agency than Kraft paid for the team 20-some years ago. This is not a build it and they will come year. It's a win now year. And you had an opportunity to win, but your quarterback couldn't get you in realistic field goal range. They did have a field goal to win it. It would have been the longest field goal that Nick Folk has made in 6 years. A guy who's 3 for 9 in his career on 55-plus yard field goals. It's outdoor in bad conditions, but Belichick, the smartest coach we've ever seen, decided that, plus even if he makes it, you got to stop Brady from getting in field goal range of his own, was a better option than saying, hey, Mac, you think you can get us 3 yards? 3 yards, buddy, is what we would need to get a new set of downs and make sure our kick is the final play of the game. I don't know what I'm hearing about. The idea, Broussard, that New England running the ball 8 times for -1 yard when one of their strengths is supposed to be the offensive line is a badge of honor. No, it means the one thing you did last year well, run the ball, can't do that this year either. Like, yes, you played well in the pass defense. That's worth nothing. Nothing.
All right, Nick. I'm not here for the moral victories, so I'm with you on that. Coach went too far in saying Wild should feel good. He shouldn't. Wilds is feeling way too good for a team that lost, and a prediction that was way off. All right, the prediction was wrong. There's no kind of right. It was wrong, period. They lost. But here's the thing you're missing, Nick, and you're missing it because you just don't want to give the kid props. You should feel good if you're a Patriots fan about Mac Jones. And Coach brought up the -1 yards rushing on 8 carries. That makes Jones's performance even more impressive because they knew exactly what was coming. They're not running, they're passing. And he still was able to time and time again find open receivers. 19 consecutive completions. That's the most by a rookie, that would include Trevor Lawrence, in the last 30 years, Nick. And it matches Tom Brady's personal best. So you got to give Jones credit. He played well. I want to throw this to you, Coach. I do agree with Nick that they should have gone for it on 4th and 3 with 59 seconds left because Jones was moving the football. I think they could have gotten it. And even if Folks makes the field goal, you left Brady a minute, 59 seconds, to move down the field and get in field goal position, which I think he would have, and they would have won the game anyway. So what do you think? Would you have gone for it on 4th and 3, or you think that was the right call to kick the field goal?
Oh, what was it? 6 inches, 8 inches where it missed by. So we could second guess the call because it didn't work, and we always do that. But if he had gone for it and not gotten it, everybody said, well, why wouldn't you have taken a shot at a field goal there? So I'm fine with the decision that he made at the time that he made it, and we're not talking about a big difference. But in terms of me going too far, I don't think I'm going too far by any stretch. The fact that this game was close, with almost 8 minutes difference time of possession, no running game, -2 turnovers, sacked 4 times, and they're still in this game. That's unbelievable. And you have to give a lot of credit to Mac Jones. And Nick, you know I'm not a big jump on the rookie bandwagon early, but you have to look at moments for players. And this was a big moment for Mac Jones. And you think of the pressure that he was under in this environment, and he excelled under that pressure. Am I saying he's going to the Hall of Fame or he's going to be Tom Brady? No, not at all. But you should be excited if you're a New England Patriots fan for what he did yesterday.
Yeah, listen, anytime you can hang 17 whole points on the monsters of the Midway, the Tampa Bay Bucks defense, that everyone has moved up and down the field on and suffered even more injuries in the secondary. No, well, here's the thing, Wilds.
More than Mahomes.
Here, you can get by. What? More than Mahomes? Okay, all right, that's fine. You can get by a lot of ways in this league. There's a lot of ways to win games in this league. it is almost impossible in 2021 to win games if you're trying to win them in the teens. And that is what the Patriots are trying to do. Because you want to know why you let your rookie quarterback learn and make mistakes early? Because maybe, just maybe, by his fourth game, he does what Zach Wilson did yesterday. Oh my God. He's making plays. He's taking shots down the field. And we can try, Wilds, to twist our brain around to explain how a quarterback whose team scored 17 points and he turned the ball over had a good game against a bad defense. But nobody can get around this. Mahomes, Herbert, Lamar, Allen, Baker, Burrow, Lawrence, and now let's throw in Zach Wilson. That's 8 of the 16 AFC quarterbacks. They're all young. You think Mac Jones ever going to be better than any one of them? Maybe one.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe. One day he'll be the 8th best quarterback in his own conference. But those guys are all young, and they are all already better than him, much less what they will be moving forward. So, no, I'm not going to pat him on the back for scoring 17 on Tampa.
All right. You said some interesting things there, but none more interesting than you being converted to the 4 games theory. You said in the 4th game. That's what I've been saying. So, Jenna, we got another convert. The 4 games theory.
Played into it.
Everyone played, rookies play well in 4 games. Had another victory for Wilds. The 4 games theory. You're right,
Wilds
Nick.
finally got